Before we get started on this one, just a little bit of context. What you're going to hear is a show that we recorded last week as I put this up now, which is a normal show, but then also some recording that we did in Birmingham when we went to see Bruce Springsteen. So you're going to hear Noel Mellor and my work friend, Paul Dyer, on... Well, part of the recording is just sat in a park outside Aston Villa Stadium, talking shit, and then part of it is us in a restaurant talking about The Flash. Very normal show at first, then, and then some hungover bollocks and some drunk bollocks. So that stuff maybe not great for first-time listeners, but you know, if you've been listening to the show for a while, hopefully you'll know what to expect. There you go. Let's start.
Hello.
And
Welcome
to Film
Bastards.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 497 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by...
Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Hello, one and all. Becky is en route, we think. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch today, unfortunately, so Donna's a little bit ill when I've got to take over parenting duties at 8 o'clock so she can go to bed. So that's why, Mark, as well, because I haven't actually told you that yet. Like what I had over the weekend, she's got. So yeah. I don't wish it on anyone. So what are we talking about this week? We are going to be talking about Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Just an absolute fucking non-existent entity of a film. A little bit of a spoiler alert for my opinions there, but we'll get some mileage out of it.
A little bit of a spoiler alert for my views on it as well. For me, one of the most 7 out of 10 films I could watch. However, did get me up to a point at the end of it where Bex went, I can't believe how excited you got at that moment.
Right, okay. Look, there's discussion points. And that's the thing, there are actually discussion points about that film. But maybe in just how kind of non-discussion... We'll get into it.
This bit, yeah, I have one massive gripe that is going to be aimed at that movie, but is actually aimed at a lot of other movies that are coming out currently. Not currently, but have come out in the past few years that seem to be a little bit of a trend.
Well, we'll get into it. I don't know. Actually, I suppose there is some movie news we can talk about. There's been some trailers of some sort, and we'll talk about some what we've been up to and whatnot. We're a Pod Syndica podcast, so please do listen to like-minded shows like Gaming Landfill, Trig vs Punter, The Rewatch Project. If his film, her movie, ever comes back, would recommend that. Jordan, Lauren, hi, yeah, I think that'll do it. So, release date changes. I'm gonna be 47 years old when the last Avatar film comes out.
Yeah, I'm just at the point now where I'm kind of a little bit like, I could not. You could just not. Yeah. It's. So when did the first one come out? 2009?
9.
Yeah. So there'll have been 23
22
years.
years. So yeah, may as well be 20. Yeah.
23 years you'll be looking at. 22 years, yeah. By the time the fifth part, comes out?
Mark, I don't want to get into it too much. How long were your parents together for?
Less than that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. My parents, were together. What? They were already married 12 years, and I think they got together 14 years. They were together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were married for 20 years, and it's. God, sorry, a little bit dark, but I'm just thinking that, like, in the space between Avatar 1 and Avatar 5, No, actually, I won't say that. Sorry, that was a little bit too, probably a little bit too personal. Anyway, sorry, apologies. But it just, that is an insane amount of time for a filmmaker to dedicate themselves to a thing, and I kind of respect that, but also, what, you know, just when talking about, like, your own mortality and things like that, you know, it's which I want to do these days, it seems. It's getting to a point now where it's like, genuinely, could I have some sort of health issue that crops up for people in their 40s where I don't make it to Avatar 5? It's hard to be enthusiastic about a thing that is, when you think about it, it's like, I'm kind of starting to get well into middle age at that point. And it's a film.
It's that's it. It's just, my feeling's kind of on it. And the weird thing is, because it kind of skirts around it happened like a couple of days, this came out, after Avatar arrived on Disney Plus, didn't it? Last Wednesday, I believe. And me and yourself were having a conversation on WhatsApp where we're saying, do you know what? Even though neither of us liked it that much, we're both going to kind of give it another go. Because it's there, it's available to watch, and I want to see what it looks like, the presentation looks like on there, and I wasn't that offended by it that I couldn't give it another watch.
Do you know what? Just ever so slight what we've been up to. I watched the first 25 minutes of it on Disney Plus. I got to the bit where the Sigourney Weaver character was fucking about in Avatar land and feeling the grass and shit, and I was like, do you know what, I'm out.
Yeah, that's it. I know I could turn it off at any point and go, no, I'm bored. Buy it.
Honestly, I was just like, Quaritch's Blue Avatar, yeah, get that revenge on Jake Sully. He did kind of fuck you over, didn't he? Good on you.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel about the Avatar films. The humans are right.
The thing is, at the end of it, the bit I'm actually looking forward to is that last kind of battle bit, because I'll be honest, Cameron is a very talented filmmaker. I don't think he's a talented writer. I think he's a talented he's a talented ideas guy. I think he comes up with good ideas. I think he needs better people to actually write the actual bones of the script for him. But he's a very talented director. And so he shoots that end battle scene. Is really well shot. And so, yeah, the thing is, they teased and they tickled the idea that he was toying with the idea of coming back to the Transformers, the Terminator franchise. And I was very interested in the idea of him doing a Transformers. I keep saying that. A Terminator movie. But he's not going to, is he? Because he's going to be in his late 70s by the time he fucking finishes with Avatar. And these films like to be, further delayed. So we'll be in our 50s, mate, by the time this fucking comes to its fruition.
Honestly, that's the bit. It was like, in my 20s, I'm like, if a film was coming out in 7 or 8 years or something like that, yeah, brilliant, bring it on. Now I'm a little bit like, well, is my prostate going to be alright by then?
It's just, fucking Richard Linklater conceived and shot Boyhood over a 20-year period. That kind of seems worth it. 5 Avatar movies kind of don't, because we've hit 2, and aside from the fact that, yes, and I think we always said, let's not bet against Cameron. But aside from the fact that it made a lot of money, nobody cares. It is a pure, going to quote my wife on this, it's a pure capitalist agenda. The film has no stamp on on cinema, other than the fact that they make a lot of money, and they clearly have a marketing hoodoo, which is brilliant. Fair fucking play to them.
The thing is, those films are like genuinely experiential. You know, watching them on a massive screen, it is just like you are seeing another world, and I get it. And the technological advances that Cameron's doing with it, you know, absolutely full fair play to it. I will say I'm very glad you don't hear any stories about people wishing that they could just stay in Pandora forever, like you did with the first one. And it also does make me laugh that over this last week or so, it's been like loads of video game presentations. It's like the kind of period of time E3 used to be on before E3 died. And Ubisoft are releasing an Avatar game at the end of the year. And it makes me laugh that it's like all these technological advancements, and that game looks like the most fucking basic bitch Far Cry re-skin you've ever seen.
So I looked at it and thought, oh wow, they must have started developing that game in 2014.
Yeah, quite. I don't know. But the thing is, I bet Disney are perfectly fine with having the release date staggered, because it does keep Avatar still somewhat relevant, because there's another film coming out somewhere down the line. You know, it keeps the fucking Avatar land in Disney Florida somewhat relevant. And to be fair, that ride is one of the single greatest theme park rides I've ever been on. But that's Avatar. It's a fucking theme park ride.
And you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. Because even in the back of my mind, I actively don't like Avatar. I thought Way of Water was absolute fucking waffle. But 2 years' time, will I sit down and watch number 3? Yeah, why not? Because why not? Because literally for that reason, why not? When the first one came out, like the 13 years ago, 14 years ago nearly now, I was still kind of sniffy enough to kind of go, well, I like more important movies than this. This is bollocks. All it's got is it's technology and its effects, and it's more than that. I'm now at the stage where I'm like, yeah, do you know what? It is waffle and it is bollocks and it is nonsense, and I'm probably only going to give it fucking 3 out of 5, maximum. But you know what? Fine, just fucking show me something. Go, take me on the theme park ride, and that's kind of okay. Not every film has to be a 5 out of 5 banger.
No, I mean, your wife, our co-host Becky Foster, is one of the great women of history.
Yes.
But one of the greatest things about, and I know you appreciate that about her, so that's brilliant, because otherwise we'd have words. But the fact that she is so staunchly, I am not playing Cameron's capitalist game, which, like, for listeners, Noel quotes in our WhatsApp chat quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it's terrific. Every single time it makes me laugh. And he's right, because he's not playing Cameron's capitalist game either. He watched the first one, he hasn't watched the second, he's not going to watch it, because he quotes Becky, he's not playing the capitalist game. And it's like, I feel like I might actually be at a point by next December where I'm not playing a Cameron's capitalist game. But for the fact that we talk about it on the show.
And the thing is, I would also kind of agree with that. But the weird thing is, and you summed it up a second ago when you were talking about it affects the theme park ride. The weird thing is, I would go as far as say that I probably didn't enjoy Avatar: Way of Water that much. It was a bit of a tut and a slog. But I enjoyed the experience of watching it, which I know makes no fucking sense. But it's enough for me to be curious about, well, where's this going next? Because it's probably going to be exactly the same movie as the last one I watched, and the one before that.
Except this time it's Fire Navi and they're wrong-uns.
Yeah. So... it's just going to be that, and then we're going to get introduced to, like, the fucking clay people, or something like that. And there's going to be the Snowy Mountain Peak Avatar twats.
But Nice. It is wild though, because I think if memory serves, it's like Avatar 3 is now going to be Christmas 2025.
Yes.
And then there's a 4-year gap.
Yeah,
And then it's going to be... Sorry?
And then there's a 2-year gap.
Hang on. What are the dates then?
So I'm fairly certain, let me have a look, because I think I screenshotted it to you guys, didn't I?
I think you did.
Let's go down. Yeah, here we go, I've got it screenshot. December 19th, 2025 is Avatar 3, so that's put back...
So that's 2.5 years
away. And then December 21st, 2029...
Yeah, 4-year gap.
4. And then Avatar 5 is 2031.
I mean...
And the thing is,
Come
he
on.
still claimed up until like a few months before the last one came out, we're shooting these sequels back to back.
Just wild. And I mean, like, I know apparently, I think Cameron's already like said that at some point they're going to Earth. So I'm sure that's gonna like be quite the technological challenge as well. But it's man.
Sigourney Weaver, because that's 9 years away. Sigourney Weaver will be 81 by the time these movies finish.
There is a fair chance Sigourney Weaver is dead before these come out. I mean, there's a fair chance we're all dead before these come out.
Yeah.
Trump gets the presidency next year. Who knows if we make it to Avatar 3?
Oh, I mean, out of all the people that we hope are dead or that could be dead by then, let's just hope it's that prick.
Well, absolutely. Oh God, yeah, absolutely. But hey, do you know what is coming out before Trump potentially gets the election, which wasn't going to come out before Trump potentially wins next year?
What?
Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 will herald the apocalypse. That's coming out because they're still continuing to film it despite the writers' strike. Well, let's see how that goes. So Captain America is now like November, December next year. Bunch of Marvel moves.
The fact that a load of like the Marvel films moved and nobody seemed to give a shit shows you where people's patience or focus is with that now.
That's exactly it, mate. That's exactly it. I don't think we need to talk about that anymore.
Nope.
So, alright, should we do some trailers? What have you been watching?
What have I watched? I know I watched some. Oh, alright. Not a new trailer, I don't think. Well, actually, it was a new trailer because I've not seen it before. But it might have been the last trailer that I didn't watch last week for Indiana Jones. But Indiana Jones in the cinema with the music going and sat there for that trailer. At the end of it, I was like, fuck it, yeah, go on then.
Yeah,
Might not even be that good. Trailer is fine. Looks more like it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge's movie than it is Harrison Ford's movie. And I'm really like, I'm not... I've had little exposure to her, and the exposure I have had it has left me kind of go about it. But yeah, I think it was more the John Williams score that made me just go, okay, yeah, let's go.
Fair. Yeah, looking forward to that. Only a couple of weeks away, which is kind of wild.
Yep. What else have we got? All right, I'm going to surprise you here.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Things.
I think it looks all right.
Yeah, I'm all right, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it going...
Yeah, that's surprising, yeah.
I was watching it going, this looks like absolute fucking bobbins. Absolute, complete fucking bobbins. But Ruffles looks like he's having a great time. I'm in. I'm on board. Go on, then.
Lanthimos has got a blank check here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see what that guy does with a blank check.
Yeah. It's going to make $8.
I mean, it's going to make negative money. Like, that, yeah, absolutely, dude.
But, yeah, I was watching going, I'm all right with this. It looks visually because don't get on with the guy's work. Think it's just quite childish and a little bit like we get it. You're horny. But I don't think his films have ever looked visually interesting at all. This does look quite visually interesting. So yeah, I like the look of this, and again, in just like news that will start to shock people, Asteroid City's just going up in my. I'm really looking forward to that.
I've not seen a fucking single bad review for that, and that's amongst like people who are not necessarily Anderson stans.
The other bit that I haven't seen as well is Anderson stans going to the greatest movie of the year. I've seen a lot of this is a lot of fun, and I'm kind of like, do you know what? I'm on board with the fact that this looks like it's a lot of fun, and I'm liking the amount of people who are going. It's a quite Tenenbaumsy, and I'm like, oh. Well, all right then.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking stoked for Asteroid City. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I did watch the Expendables. Expend 4 bells.
Oh, they'll die when they're dead. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
They'll die when they're dead. It's fucking great. I love that. They'll die when they're dead. Yeah. Why does that look like it's a rom-com for the first minute of the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, there's some funny about face about that, isn't there?
Yeah, it's clearly intentional. And then just Statham going, fuck, I need to get better friends. It's, yeah, I don't know why it exists at all, but I'll watch it.
No.
September,
that feels like a perfectly fine for a September.
Yeah, that movie will make more money on weekdays than it makes on a weekend. because the majority of people are going to go and see that movie. Are going to see that movie at the cinema. Will say to the person they're going, will go on Tuesday, though, because we're well busy on Saturday. I'm not going on Saturday when it's that busy. We'll go Tuesday. Go Tuesday
I thought
night,
you were
right?
more suggesting that it was like the Grey Pound were going to come out because all the people who watch these people are now old enough that they've retired and they go to.
There'll be an element of that. There'll be a lot of matinee screenings. Nobody's going to see this movie after 7 because they've all got to be in bed by 10.
But I mean, that increasingly includes us.
Oh yeah, I thoroughly include me on that. I am looking forward to watching this on my day off on a Tuesday or a Wednesday at like a 11:15 screening.
You see, I don't get that pleasure anymore. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly happy with my lot in life, but like having a day off in the week and going to just like a 12 on a Wednesday afternoon showing where it's you and a few other older people is one of life's pleasures.
Yeah. Where you look around and there's a lot of the single people there. Not single people, but single people on their own.
People on their own. Yeah.
And you look at them going, you kind of nod and you're like, they fucking know. Like, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think, like, it's like, you're a little club. Yeah. Also watched, I'm catching up on trailers that I missed last week. Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah, why not, eh?
Fuck it, go on then. Yeah, I see what you're saying about Kinnaman. He is even more skin jobby than he normally is.
Mm-hmm. But I kind of feel like there's good potential in how skin jobby looks in it, to be honest.
That's it. At any point, during that trailer, that 3.5 minutes of trailer, I kept forgetting it was him, even when he was on screen. I'm like, going, oh, fuck, he's in it, yeah. It's like, he's the second lead. But yeah, cut back. Fucking just go on then. Caged Unleashed.
Yep.
What else have you got? Let's see if I caught up with some of these. Because if any of them came out today or yesterday, I have no chance.
Oh no, fair enough. Yeah, I mean one that did just come out today. So it's an interesting one as well. It's a new animated film on Netflix called Nimona, which was a Blue Sky film. So the people who made Ice Age, but then Disney bought Fox. Oh no, what was it? there was some sort of buyout. No, I think it was that. And then Fox closed down Blue Sky Studios. And then, like, this has been resurrected by Netflix. Lottie is going to be all about this. I'm looking forward to showing her the trailer. I just watched it before we started recording. Like, this feels like a good family action adventure thing. Female lead. The sidekick, it looks like, is a gay dude who, and like one of the villains is his ex, and that's
nice. Yeah, that feels like, well, that happens a lot hetero, so why not have it?
Yep.
Yeah, the other way.
Yep. Absolutely.
I realised
that
the other bit there was homo. That sounded wrong.
No. Art style was kind of interesting. Little bit kind of video game. It kind of reminded me of Breath of the Wild, but not in the way that Breath of the Wild looks like Miyazaki. It's interesting.
Just from the stills I'm looking at it, it's got a little bit of Atlantis kind of.
Angular. Yeah, angular is the word. Comes out in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it. It looks all right. Also, teaser trailer for Pixar film next year, Elio, because Elemental comes out in the US this weekend, so they're starting a trailer. They're like next one. So this just looks like boy is abducted by aliens, through various things. The aliens think he's the leader of Earth, and now he has to save the Earth.
Do all people in Pixar movies now just look like that? Is that the Pixar
And they all, yes.
design?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
They're
that
all
is.
quite round.
And this is the thing. I remember when talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, how Illumination have their kind of like human style, and it's kind of boring and it kind of like rubs off weirdly when you're then watching the Nintendo style. Pixar are just as guilty. They've just got their house style for what things look like. And
Yeah.
it feels fucking weird.
Yeah, it feels almost a little bit like somebody sat there and going, right, so what ethnicity is he? He's not quite just tan. Can he have a little bit of a tan? Yeah, black hair, blah 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 blah. There you go.
It just, you look at that, and I'll just say on Elio before I go to that point. It looks like it'll be fine though. Like it's not going. What if grass could talk? What if your burps had feelings? It's not that. It's not that. It's just telling a simple story about a kid saving the world, and that's fine. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just so obviously we talked about Across the Spider-Verse last week, and it's like there's more imagination in like 10 seconds of that film than there kind of seems to be in like the last 5 years of Pixar films. And it's really, really sad. It's really sad. Even, and I say that Turning Red was in my top 10 last year. At the same time, the people kind of look like Pixar people.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, depressing. But actually, I think that was it for me this week.
Yeah, that's all I watched trailer wise. I can't think. There's definitely another one, but I can't remember it.
So while we're waiting for Bex, we'll get into what we've been watching and whatnot, and I'm going to mix things up a little bit. I'll start with myself, and then move on to yourself, and then hopefully by then Bex will be back, and we can, is that all right?
Yeah, that's all good. All good.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I have watched a couple of films, but I will update on how F1 Drive to Survive is going. So,
I love how much you're loving this. Like, genuinely, I love how much you're loving this.
fucking rules. I was ill over the weekend, and Sunday I watched. I didn't watch any films. and I felt a little bit weird about that. But what I did watch was like 9 episodes of Formula One Drive to Survive. Now, okay, so for those who used to watch like X Factor and Pop Idol, like reality, those kinds of reality shows. So, Mark, I feel like you might not have much grounding in this, right?
I have never watched a reality TV show. I tell a minor fib. I watched the first series, or watched bits of the first series of Big Brother. Beyond that, genuinely haven't watched a single second of any of them. And things like, there's certain ones that I am actively like, I do not get it. And there's certain ones where I'm like, it's not my thing, but fuck it, have at it. If people enjoy it, why the fuck not? So I'm not a hater, but I don't watch it.
Yeah, okay. No, absolutely. So, and this is like back in the day shit. So, it's kind of like when I started first going out with Don, like getting on for 20 years ago. So, like, X Factor would be on. And we had this kind of like running joke where there'd be like inspirational stories leading up to like people doing their auditions and stuff. And you'd always be able to tell when like if someone was gonna like be okay. And it was like it was textbook, because they'd start playing kind of like bits from Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars. And and it would like, you'd kind of know that okay, they're gonna get through. And it would the music would be building, and it would be like the kind of like the crescendo moment at the end of Chasing Cars, where it was like, if I lay here, and then the guitars and it kind of kicks in and whatnot, and it'd be like, you're through. Now, what Drive to Survive does is it kind of plays with that, where it's not music, but here's an example. So, Nico Hulkenberg is an F1 driver who's been driving for fucking years, right? This is in the 2019 season, this season I'm watching season 2. 2019 season. And he has never had a top 3 finish. And through his career, people have been like, he's a great driver, he just needs the car as well, because that's one of the great things about F1. I really, really like F1 generally. I've never really talked about it on the show. I very much enjoy F1. And like, I used to watch it with my dad, and it's like key kind of memories with my dad is like F1 related. So, and one of the great things about F1 is the fact it's not just the driver, it's also the car. And then if you get like the two together, they're in tune and singing together, then, you know, it just blows the competition away. Max Verstappen for Red Bull's been doing it the last few years. So anyway, Nico Hulkenberg, great driver, never quite had the car. His contract's coming up, and the thinking is that he's gonna get dropped. And there's this Grand Prix, and it's the it's the German Grand Prix, so it's his home Grand Prix. So it's really just like table setting this stuff. And like, so his teammate, who he's kind of like rivaling with, Daniel Ricciardo, who is one of the great people on Earth, has dropped out of the race due to engine trouble. So all the team are like, go on, Nico, push. Yeah, you've got past that guy. You've got past that guy. You can overtake this guy. And he's like aiming for this podium finish, right? And it is setting it up. In my back of my mind, I was like, this is a Chasing Cars moment. Like, but I know the history of Nico Hulkenberg, so I knew what was going to happen. And he just makes this tiny mistake. And it's this really wet track, and he just slips off, and then that's his engine done, and that's his day done. And it cuts Nico Hulkenberg being interviewed, and he was just like, and that's when I knew I was fucked. and it's really liberal with the language as well as Drive to Survive. It's incredible. And it just like, it's this absolute anti-Chasing Cars moment where it's building up this, he's gonna do it, and then he fucks it. And with Drive to Survive, you got all these things where you genuinely do not know which way these things are going to go sometimes. And the only way you would actually know is if you know the real history. and the amount of moments that take me by surprise, where it's things that I didn't know, but it's so clever, and it's all in the editing, just like X Factor was, with it's all in the editing, and that. Like at the time on the day, was it actually looking like he was going to get a top 3? Maybe not, but they egg that on, and they're really going like, he's one of the great drivers who's never had a podium, like really building that shit up, like it's gonna be his moment, and then he just fucks it, and it's like it is compulsive content to watch. Quite frankly, but so is Formula One. It just like you've got so much drama. It's the drivers, it's the team, it's the rivalries between the drivers in the team. Because you've got like established people and then young bucks, or like up and comers with like people who had past glory and are trying to hit that spot again. And just and everybody's an alpha. They all are used to winning and want to win, but they're also human beings. And it is a fantastic. It's a great show. And the thing is, I'm 2 episodes away from the end of season 2. Season 3 is the COVID season, and I am really interested to see how that goes, because a lot of the drivers gave the Formula One Association a lot of shit for how they dealt with COVID, like pre-COVID. Like I remember the Australian Grand Prix, right? Like I think it was like in March when it was all really kicking off, and the FIA were like, "We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it." And I remember Lewis Hamilton going like, "This is fucking nuts. Like I have to be here. I do not want to be here, but I have to." I'm looking forward to how they play that out, because it feels pretty warts and all, but it's also sanctioned by Formula One. And whether that push-pull of there's got to be the drama and there's got to like at least feel real, because that's what's so engaging about it, versus but we've also got to kind of keep our reputation. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I'm fucking loving this show. It absolute comfort food, which is what I needed on Sunday, because I felt like shit.
Yeah, there is something to be said for comfort TV.
Man, it's so fucking good. It's so good. I'm so glad I've still got 3 seasons left until I've caught up.
It like 5 seasons.
Yeah. So the season covering last year came out in February. So I'm assuming like next February will be this year. But yeah, terrific. Right, so anyway, that's enough about TV though, isn't it? So, I have also watched... I've had this on Apple TV for ages. I bought it fucking years ago and I've never bothered rewatching it. Spike Jonze's adaptation. Oh, yeah.
I've got some of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
When you buy it, you can go... Fucking $2.99. Been wanting to watch that for ages. Buy. Forget it exists.
Yeah. Spike Jonze's adaptation. So
I remember hating this.
Now, this is the thing, right? I think the reason why I really like this is because it's Charlie Kaufman going, I fucking know I'm insufferable. I am such a twat.
I watched it at the cinema and haven't watched it since, and I fucking hated it. But obviously that was, 2006 was it?
I think it was earlier than that. I feel like it was 02.
It could have been 02, so you're talking like 21 years ago.
Time is a thing. And yeah, this is it. The thing is, I don't get on with Charlie Kaufman generally. Like, absolutely get in the bin. I don't care. Adaptation, it's him just whining about what a fucking loser he is, and it's like, yeah, you are, mate. Yep. You're inventing. You're literally. There is a scene that, And it's funny because Mike Chinstroker Mike commented to me that he enjoyed how much I enjoyed talking about the wank fantasy thing a couple weeks back. There was literally that in adaptation where, and I mean, like the thing is, I respect it. Nicolas Cage is jerking off to the thought of Judy Greer taken into a forest and just like offering herself, and it's like, yep.
Fair play.
But then it just like it cuts to like Nicolas Cage like ejaculating, and it's like, yeah, I relate. So you know that there are maybe these things that connect me to adaptation, but at the same time, if anybody ever asks me to watch Synecdoche, New York ever again, I will potentially knife them.
Yeah, I've got again another one I've not seen since the cinema. But I remember actually kind of enjoying that, but I think I'd find it insufferable now.
It honestly, it is literally just the fact that he's talking about how pathetic he is, and I'm just nodding. So there you go. Also, funnily enough, you mentioned it earlier on. I had another crack at the Royal Tenenbaums. That film's great.
It's fucking great, the Royal Tenenbaums.
Just terrific, like proper. Yeah, I can see why everybody wanted to work with you after this. Gene Hackman, just fantastic.
It's Gene Hackman in it.
But just the way he's so charismatic, but you know that him being your dad would be a nightmare. Like, and he just balances that line so beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, like he'd be your favourite granddad, and just like the dad you wish you never had.
Yeah. Everybody in the world would think, God, I bet he's a great dad to have, apart from his kids.
Yeah. I mean, I liked my dad more than Ben Stiller likes Royal Tenenbaum in this, but
Well, yeah,
massive my dad vibes about him in this. Actually, is weird. Yeah,
a little bit of mine. Bex always refers to the joke in Friends where Monica turns around to Ross and says, "I know you can't pick your parents, but if I could pick my parents, I'd choose yours." Bex is basically always like, "That is you with your sister." like, me and my sister have very different parents, but the same parents. I don't know. Yeah. Both my parents are great. Just the relationship we have is different.
It looks great. I mean, like, it's fully formed Wes Anderson. What, like 3 films in?
Yeah,
you know, mad. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Fantastic film. I'm not doing a full Wes Anderson rewatch or anything like that. There's films that I can take or leave. But it'd been a while since I'd watched it, and I'm glad I did. Okay, and my last one actually is film that you were talking about last week until I told you to stop because I was watching it.
Yeah.
So finished off Dark Blue.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd never seen this before, and I mean, this is a cynical bit of work, isn't it?
It really is, isn't it? The most baffling thing about this movie is it was made in 2002. This feels like it was made between 1995 and 1997.
It is weird that it's a noughties film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kurt Russell just being this really complicated character where it's like he kind of wants to do good, but he's just been like he's just in too far deep in the system.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found it really quite depressing. Effective though, and obviously that's what it's going for. Yeah, I don't know. This feels like very, very much your bag, and maybe that'll kind of open up the discussion within me.
Yeah, it is. It's that. The thing is, you've got as well. It's basing its story around an actual event, an actual real life event. So it's basing its stories around the trial of the Rodney King verdict coming out, where the officers were essentially acquitted, and it's based around that and looking at right. Well, we're not going to do a story of that because that's probably not the story we need to be telling, but we're going to do something adjacent to it. It's not quite as punchy as Training Day. I mean, it's baffling that you had, David Ayer had Training Day, Fast and Furious, and this come out in like a 14-month period as a writer. It's bonkers. But you can definitely see the fact that there's a lot of on the street work within it, and it's majoritively set outside or inside single buildings. There's not a lot of it's not procedural, is what I would say. It's very much looking at the lives of these guys and the fact that all of their shady dealings and everything. It's once they. I remember David A was saying, it's the idea is that you could take the best, and most straight-laced cop out there. The minute he does one thing that is slightly away from where he's supposed to, that he's not really supposed to do, the knock-on effect of that, it's just, well, he's got to cover it with that and that and that, and that's how it spirals, and it's just easier for it to just go into the case of these guys walk out, and it's right. Which line do I have to do to get to here, to here, to here, to here, and what do I have to do to cover it? And it's that. And I very much like the fact that he seems to get angry and in it with his wife, because his wife says that the guy's cute. So he basically just admits, well, I didn't even fucking shoot him. I did.
I will say the wife relationship is that escalated quickly stuff.
Yeah.
She has 3 scenes. So there's the one where they're kind of busting each other's balls as such a little bit, and she's pissed, and she's like, "Why do you think I drink?" The second scene, I'm pretty sure, is her moving out.
Yep.
And he's like, "Come over to our house. My wife will cook you some goulash." Cut to him entering, and just everything's gone.
Yeah.
It's like, what? And then the third scene is the last scene in the courtroom. That did feel a little bit all right, we're just gonna
There's two scenes missing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there definitely is that. I would say it's not as polished as some of the movies like this that came out around sort of the same time. But I think the fact that you've got Kurt Russell and Ving Rhames and Brendan Gleeson all in there, and Scott Speedman's kind of fine in it, but it's not. It is kind of his story, but you don't give a shit about his and the what's her name's character.
Michael Michelle,
yeah. You don't care.
Which, by the way, is one of the great names for an actress.
Yeah. You don't give a shit about them. You're every time that they're on screen, I'll talk about that. You're no, can we get back to Kurt Russell being shady?
Man.
And what I'll say there is Dash Mihawk playing exactly what Dash Mihawk looks like he would be like if he wasn't Dash Mihawk.
Really? That feels a little bit mean.
No, at the time he definitely had a pretty fly for a white guy vibe to him.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I would definitely go for that, and he leaned into it by playing a lot of those kind of characters.
I mean, fair enough. No, look, I mean, yeah, it's. I thought it was decent. I mean, Scott Speedman is a little bit skin jobby, won't lie. Brendan Gleeson, like, brilliant. Like, yeah, all right, have Brendan Gleeson play that part. Why not?
Oh, and by the way, your hook is dead.
Yeah. And it's just that ending as well, where it's like Kurt Russell just like thinking about what's going to happen now. Like, at some point, you'll probably be murdered in prison, and he's just watching the city burn. Like, I mean, that's a hell of an ending.
Yeah, I'll say it. You know, and I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but fucking hell, he goes for it with his endings. You know, Training Day, Fast and the Furious, Dark Blue,
Hang on,
Harsh
2 ticks.
Times.
Sorry, 2 ticks. Yeah, what's up? Oh, hang on. 2 ticks. I think one of our circuits is just tripped. I'll be back.
Yeah, it was.
Hang on, which lights? Okay. Yeah, there's nothing trips like that. I always see main switch and just assume that means that that's the whole thing, not that it's a separate. It's got sockets on it as well. There's more sockets downstairs. So we could like a unit or not? A cooker or something. Yeah. Oh, hang on, the fridge. Whoa! The fridge is in. Yeah, I mean, if everything's on now, then it should be right. hey, but you there? Sorry.
Yeah, all good.
Oh man. Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, yeah, we've had a lot of movement downstairs today. So the Hobbs in, and Carl and his friend. I didn't know they were doing this. They just moved the bloody fridge freezer from the living room into the kitchen. They managed to fit it into the integrated thing, and but it tripped the lights, and we were trying to work out. And it was weird. It was like all the individual breakers were okay, but it was like the one labelled main switch, turned that off and on, and then that got the lights, which was weird. But anyway, yeah, sorry, we're good. Sorry about that. You were right in your flow as well. I do apologise.
Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, just saying, David Ayer at that point was writing fucking great endings. I say Training Day, Fast and Furious, Dark Blue had a good ending, but like really quite bleak endings. Like Harsh Times and Street Kings are also quite bleak endings, and I can't remember End of Watch, but I remember that being a little bit like, fucking hell. It's like nothing turns out all right at the end of these movies.
Yeah, I think Gyllenhaal meets a rough end in that, if memory serves.
Yeah, I think I might rewatch. I've been meaning to rewatch Training Day for quite a while. And so, yeah, I think I might give that a rewatch in the coming weeks.
Yeah, nice. So, yeah, fully over to you, dude. What else have you been up to?
Not watched that much this week, just because I was on earlys all week. So, like, watching a film at night is kind of a little bit prohibitive there. We have finished all 12 seasons now, 246 episodes of our rewatch of Bones that we did.
I fucking love that. That's great.
And it's the thing is, we watched it all when it was on, and we've done a rewatch since it finished, and it only finished like 5-6 years ago. Like 6 years ago it finished. Ran for like 12 years. Which is bonkers. But it's like now, I know that this gets said a lot, but like now there is the lead character of it, the title character of the show could not happen now, because she essentially is a narcissistic bully who uses her intelligence to get away with it. And it's like we're watching it like on a week by week basis. Well, we're watching where you would watch it a week by week. You maybe don't notice it, but when you're watching it in like 2 or 3 episode blocks, like a couple of times a week, you best get to each other going, I mean, she's a dick, but not like a fun dickhead. Like, she's an absolute piece of shit. But she's not supposed to be a piece of shit. It's always billed as she's a little bit like, she's awkward because her intelligence, is so high that she finds it socially awkward, and that makes her come across as cold. But once you get to know her, she's not. You're watching going, no, she's just a bully at points. She's just it's a toxic workplace. But still kind of enjoyed it. And there's some like weird people crop up. Like Michael B. Jordan crops up for like a few episodes.
Oh wow, okay.
In it. There's a long running thing of Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top is one of the main characters' dads. But like not like he plays her dad, he is her dad and he is himself.
Yeah, I think they talked about that on Blank Check once, actually, just how random that is. It's like his dad's like a bit of the dad's like a mystery or something.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that it's him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Joel David Moore is, I think I referenced this when we actually watched that episode, is in it like quite a lot for like from like series 4 till 12, and he's like a recurring cast member to the point of where at one point they're actually queuing to watch Avatar with him.
Really?
Which, yeah,
that's fun.
It's an entire episode of him queuing to watch the premiere of Avatar.
Nice.
But also as well, there's some great like product placement within it. Like there'll be for no reason. you'll have one of the main characters will be driving the new Toyota RAV4, and they'll be going. And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do about all this traffic? And the character go, oh, that's not our problem because this car comes with built-in GPS from this aerial, which gets us blind. You're just going, oh, and then the other character go, oh, yeah, well, it's a good job these seats recline so far back, and I've got all this leg room, so I can just relax while we get there quicker. It's that bad, but. Yeah, it's fun. And like John Francis Daly of Dungeons and Dragons directing and writing is in it for like 6 seasons. And he's like a main character in it that when he dies, his character dies in it, it is like horrible for it because he's great in it. But yeah, I had a good time rewatching it. And yeah, I think we're possibly looking at watching because it's good to have a TV show on the go. I think we're possibly looking at doing a Twin Peaks rewatch, but not sure how much. Whether or not we're just going to do season 1 or whether or not we're going to do the full thing.
Oh, I will just say very briefly. We watched the first couple of episodes just when you're talking about like a TV show that's good to have on hand. The Seth Rogen Rose Byrne show, Platonic.
Oh yeah.
First couple of episodes directed by Nicholas Stoller as well. It seems alright. That like they're kind of like old friends who had a falling out, and now they've kind of like reconnected, and some good funny stuff in it. Episodes are only half an hour long. It's not bad. I mean, it's not mind blowing or anything, but yeah, not too bad.
Well, that's it. You kind of want those, those like little bite-sized chunk episodes you can watch. There, it's why certain like newer streaming only shows when they throw out episodes where you go right, we'll sit down and we've got like 45 minutes to an hour. We'll sit down and watch this, and like it's an hour and 25 minutes. Might as well watch a film.
Yeah.
You know, there's that there, and when time sometimes gets limited, it can be a bit like that. But before I get to Dashcam, because I've got Dashcam films to get through.
Beautiful.
Did rewatch Elizabethtown.
Oh, right. Okay.
The Cameron Crowe movie, where the bonkers bit is, it's So to just like refresh anybody's memory of people who don't know what this film is about. Orlando Bloom plays a character who at the start of the movie is entering his place of work and everyone's kind of looking at him and he keeps repeating that he's fine. And it turns out that he has essentially been developing a shoe for like this fake big shoe, an athletics manufacturer that is essentially kind of supposed to be around on the same level as like Nike and New Balance. And he's been inventing this shoe called, I think it's like the Spasmodica or something like that.
Sure.
And it's about to launch and it's shit and everyone hates it and it's going to lose the company like $1 billion. The guy who basically plays the version of what's his name Nike is Alec Baldwin. And around the same time as this is happening and he's going through all this and he's about to kill himself, Orlando Bloom, with a homemade like knife stabbing machine he's made out of a weights machine. He finds out his father has died and he has to go and collect the ashes. And then collect the body and see if he wants them cremated and bits like that. And there's a lot of family stuff going on. And he has a chance meeting and meets Kirsten Dunst, who is in like fucking adorable overload in this movie. It has no right to be near 2 hours long, Elizabethtown, at all. But it's quite charming. And it's mostly quite charming because Kirsten Dunst's character is really quite charming. And Orlando Bloom is actually quite fun to spend time with. So yeah, I watched this. I did. It was a lunch break watch, so over a couple of lunch breaks, and yeah, kind of enjoyed my time with it. It's a fun couple of hours. It doesn't need to be a couple of hours. It's too long, but yeah, a little bit unfairly maligned, I think, Elizabethtown. I had a good time with it. It's got that kind of overt earnestness that that Cameron Crowe's films started to have around this time, and that continue to have on the rare occasions that he still makes them. But I'm kind of alright with that kind of lazy pacing that his films have. I feel like I think what was it he made last? I can't remember what it was. I saw an interview. Aloha. Yeah. I saw an interview with him around that time, and he said, quite honestly, he was like, I'm never going to make a film better than Vanilla Sky. I'm never going to make a film that's more successful than Jerry Maguire. And I'm never going to make a film that is more personally important to me than Almost Famous. So, every so often I might just do something, or I might not. I might make another film. I might never make another film. And it's been 8 years since Aloha, and he might not ever make another film. And I kind of think it's sad because his hit rate is actually pretty fucking good in the sense that if Elizabethtown, We Bought a Zoo, and Aloha are the worst films you've made, and I can't remember Aloha that well, to be honest, but I do remember it being quite tiresome. We Bought a Zoo's fine, and this is kind of fine, so I'm alright with it. I enjoyed my time enough with it.
Nice. Yeah.
Also watched a film called The Art of Getting By. So another lunch break watch, downloaded it, and then it was the only thing that I had sort of available to download to watch after I'd watched one of the Dashcam films. And yeah, I thought it was a different movie. I'm not sure which movie I thought I'd downloaded, but it wasn't this. I think the movie I thought I was downloading starred Justin Long. And I thought this was Justin Long on the picture, but it's quite small, and when I downloaded it, I didn't have my glasses on, and it was early in the morning. And it's Freddie Highmore.
Spectacular.
It's got Freddie Highmore, Emma Roberts, Michael Angara, and Rita Wilson's in there. But it's about a kid, George, played by Freddie Highmore, who actually looks like he's a high school kid. Because he probably was he probably was about 19 at the time, but Freddie Highmore looks younger than he is. I mean, he doesn't look fucking hell. He's 31 now and he doesn't look 31. He's a kid who seems to be quite bright, but has decided that he doesn't see the point in the pursuit of life. He doesn't see what there is to achieve in it, and that it's all a little bit futile, so why bother? And so has kind of just stopped doing homework because his opinion is that I was going to do it, but then I just thought, but what's it going to achieve? And he's got that kind of vibe about him, but all the teachers kind of like him because they know that there's this potential in him. And he's a really good artist, so he does all these drawings and bits like that. But he ends up befriending Emma Roberts' character, who is Sally, I think she's called in the film, because she's smoking on the school roof. and one of the teachers comes up and can smell the smoke, and he's about to catch her smoking, so he quickly grabs a cigarette out of his bag, pretends that it's him that's smoking, so she doesn't get caught. So she thanks him, and they end up forming this friendship. And the whole film is about them having this. She knows that he's into her, but he doesn't want to say he's into her, but she's kind of into him, and it's that kind of look. Like I at one point towards the end of the movie, she's like, "Look, we know we're going to get together at some point, but it's just not now." And that's kind of how the film ends. And it's fine as a movie, but Freddie Highmore and Emma Roberts are both really quite engaging in it. He's really good in it as the character he's playing. He never comes across as... You don't ever at any point go, do you know what, you are insufferable. Apart from at the moment where he himself is intentionally being insufferable and kind of admits, look, I know I've been insufferable and it is kind of intentional and I'm going to stop it now because I'm annoying myself. But I had a fun time with it. It's quite disposable, but I had a good enough time with it. I'll probably speed through the dashcam ones because I was limited for time. I went for easy pickings a little bit. So I rewatched Sleepers, the Barry Levinson movie.
Nice.
Bleak as fuck movie, this. It's just these kids get, essentially abused by the system quite badly, and then get their revenge on it within that. Dash Mihok plays at the juvenile detention centre they get sent to. He plays like the massive dickhead who just keeps kicking the living shit out of them. And plays it with some aplomb. But you've also got, the cast of this film is mental. Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Bruno Kirby, Jason Patric, Brad Pitt, Brad Renfro, Minnie Driver, Jonathan Tucker, and did I say Billy Crudup is also in there? And there's a few others. Of course, Dash Mihok and John Slattery are all in this movie. It's too long, 2.5 hours long, but yeah, it's just a bleak movie. I think I spoke about it only about 18 months ago. I think me and Bex watched it during the lockdown period, and then for everyone's favourite, I rewatched Easy A because it's a really fun movie, and it still remains... I was worried that it might be a little bit like going to it 12, 13 years later, that you might rewatch it and go, ooh, this hasn't aged well. But it's actually aged fine. It's actually aged quite well. And it's propelled along by the fact that its lead character in Emma Stone is really, really watchable in it. She's a lot of fun. Also, Stanley Tucci and Patricia Clarkson as her mum and stepdad are just great. Their interactions that they have throughout the movie remain ridiculously entertaining. Penn Badgley does seem like the sort of guy that character should get with, and Cam Kajandi is fun as the idiot in it.
Yeah.
He plays hot idiot really quite well, and like the fact that he is literally leaning into the fact that, do you know what, I do look like the hot idiot, so I'm going to go for it. And it's always quite fun when actors are prepared to poke fun at themselves in that kind of way. So yeah, I had a good time rewatching Easy A. But also did make me go, Will Gluck, Fired Up, Easy A and Friends with Benefits is a banging first 3 movies to come out of the fucking out of the park with there. Fired Up is...
And Peter Rabbit 2 is one of the sensational what the fuck are you doing sequels.
Yeah, and then the 3 movies he's done since are Annie, Peter Rabbit, and Peter Rabbit 2.
Money, please. Money, 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 money.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that. He's got a new one coming out. You know the Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell rom-com?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that him?
Yeah, it's Will Look, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm really looking forward to him kind of getting back to that groove there, for sure.
Oh, can I... And sorry, can I just slightly derail?
Yeah.
In terms of what we've been up to...
Yes.
Sorry, let me you finish your point, and then we'll... Sorry.
Yeah, but no, that was it. I'm finishing there. It's Easy Air is definitely worth a rewatch for people because it's just a lot of fun. It's wears its heart on its sleeve of the films that it's ripping off, but it's there's not a lot of mean spirit in it, and its mean spirit comes from the right place in the sense that it's shining a light on certain tropes without ever actually kind of overindulging in those tropes.
So, what we've been up to... This week, I got a season ticket for Cardiff City.
Yes, you did.
I did. Me, my boy Paul, and a girl that we both have worked with on Helpline that he goes to games with. We're all going this year. And so... I mean, I don't know, it's a bit of podcast admin talk as well, but it's like, I'm now also, going to games fairly often. And just in terms of, if it's a midweek, I don't know how that's going to affect recording, so I think we probably need to talk about that.
Yeah, I'll just work it out.
Over the coming months. Yeah, I'm sure we'll work it out. But, whether people would be up for... Because we talked about football last week. Quite enjoy that aspect, just in the what we've been up to section.
I'm fine with that. I never need an excuse to talk about football, but we might need a buzzer that goes Mark stop.
but also I don't know. It's with if people have a real problem with that being a thing in what we've been up to in the future, I would encourage people to contact us, filmbastards@gmail.com or at filmbastards if you're if you're not on Twitter, filmbastards@gmail.com. I mean, whether you're on Twitter or not. Otherwise, I feel like that might be a thing going forward, because that completely takes a film or two a week out of my watching. And I'm going to be attending as many games as possible. I am fucking well up for having a full season of watching football.
So can I ask you a bit of a follow-up question for that? A relevant question within that.
Yeah.
I am conscious of the fact that we need to get on our main review, so we'll get on our main review in a second. But have you... Because we've not spoken about this that much. We spoke about football quite a lot, but we're not spoken about this. Have you attended a lot of football, or a little bit of football?
A little bit of football. I'm really, really looking forward to fucking diving in.
Yeah, because I obviously I've been to a lot. Had a season ticket for my club for a number of years. As a child, I went for nearly 10 years of a season ticket. And I don't go anywhere near as much as I'd like to now. But I have been to hundreds of games over the years, and various stadiums, and been to stadiums abroad and things like that. And yeah, it is. So you've never experienced a football ground at Christmas then?
No, and
see, it's a wonderful thing.
And the thing is, I've got a season ticket for a team who, if it weren't for the fact that 2 other teams had points deductions last year, would not be playing in that league this year. Cardiff City is not a great team, but like I'm really up for the atmosphere, the getting a fucking greasy as shit burger, and like you say, like football at Christmas. It's funnily enough, like in the WhatsApp group with the guys I'm going with, I literally just said like I really hope Cardiff play at home on Boxing Day.
Oh. Yeah, I've been to a Boxing Day game, and I remember like randomly, because we obviously season tickets you sit in the same place, and I didn't actually sit with my dad at the games. I sat with my uncle. So I sat with my uncle, and then on the row in front and a few rows down, my dad sat there, and so the only games I ever sat with my dad if we went to cup games. My uncle didn't come to cup games; he just came to the league games. But we used to go to all the cup games as well, and that is the time I'd sit with my dad throughout that. And I do remember that the guy who I sat next to on the Boxing Day one was very drunk and he was a lovely guy, so fella. And he was very drunk on the Boxing Day game, and he brought me, because I chatted with him occasionally, he brought me a Christmas present, and it was a Liverpool hat. But
nice.
Like the next time we saw him, he kind of said, he was like, last week? It's like, yeah. And that was maybe like, I would have been about 9 or 10. And he's like, I did buy you a hat, didn't I? I was like, yeah, it's the one I'm wearing. He's like, I thought I did. He said, I bought the hat on the way home from the last home game, and then forgot to wrap it for you. He said, I don't know if you noticed, but I was a bit pissed last week. And so I bought the wrapping paper and wrapped it whilst walking to the game. It's like, yeah, you could tell.
Nice.
But yeah, it was just you get to know people who sit around you, and it's a glorious thing.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I really genuinely cannot wait. And also, it's like there's a little bit of being able to talk to people in work about that kind of thing and just have some sort of like connection with people. Yeah, it's not like I'd expense it or anything like that, but it's like that it will help with that as well. So there's that kind of benefit. But honestly, it's that just having those real world tangible experiences thing.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the last 20 years has been spent in a cinema watching things, which has provoked an awful lot of benefit, don't get me wrong. It's like that as well. It's like the gig on Friday. So, like, I don't think listeners actually know. We're recording this on Wednesday the 14th of June. Friday the 16th, Mark and I and a bunch of other folks are going to see Bruce Springsteen. And so and it's like that is going to be an experience, and it's like, yeah, I want those, and I think a season ticket at Cardiff City is going to be that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I said it. I've said to Bex recently. So again, and we will review Transformers in a second. I think Bex might have just got home as well. But like I sold a load of my steelbooks this past week. And it's like they've been living in a box underneath my bed for like 2 years. They're not doing me any good, and people do collect these things. So there might my feeling though is there might be somebody out there who is really looking for the now out of print Arrow, Big Trouble in Little China, who really wants that for their collection, and it's sat in a box under my fucking bed. That's not fucking cool. If there was some way I could exchange that, they could give me a little bit of money and I could exchange that for that. So I eBayed a load of them. Did okay. I worked out that I probably made back the money I originally spent on them from that. But it's sort of... and the whole reason I suspect was it's to put towards, our holiday, the next holiday we're going on, because we can afford it and we can justify it, but it's a little bit like, yeah, but I do want that swim up room again, and I do want that extra, and I do want that extra. So this is going to help pay for those extras, because I'm now in the mindset of, I kind of want memories now as much as things.
Yeah, exactly that.
So yeah, that's where I am. Rebecca is here. Aren't you, Rebecca? Just in time. Just in time.
Just in time.
Bex, what have you been up to this week, you fucking twat?
Wow. Yeah, not a lot, to be honest.
Rise of the Beasts is directed by... No, sorry.
So I've watched a lot of From. Well, as much as is available, because season 2 is not currently... It's currently dropping. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Season 2 is a banger. I know we're on a clock, so yeah. I don't really want to give too much away either, because obviously it's not dropped in the UK yet, so the vast majority of people won't have seen it. But it's very, very twisty, very spookity.
Cool.
That's it.
Nice.
That's literally all I've done.
Yeah. Yeah, we've not watched a lot this week, have we?
No.
Fair. Okay. So, let's talk about Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Which is directed by Stephen Caple Jr. and stars Anthony Ramos, Dominique Fishback, and the voices of Ron Perlman and Michelle Yeoh as I hope I get paid a shitload of Tron. Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Bex, so at the start of the show, I basically said that this film was essentially a non-entity of a movie. I've got a question for the both of you.
Yeah.
What was Dominique Fishback's character's name?
Elena,
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
Wait,
That
let's
disproved my point.
check to see if we're right. It is.
Fuck
Elena.
me, I guess.
But if you'd have asked me what Anthony Ramos's character was called, I wouldn't have known.
Noah
It was Noah. Yeah.
or Sonic, depending on whether you're.
I wouldn't have even got. Yeah, but I wouldn't have got Noah. In fact, I think a few points during the movie where someone said Noah, I was a bit like, "Who the fuck is this Noah
Yeah,
guy?"
he doesn't look
people
like a
keep
Noah,
going
does
on
he?
about?
Doesn't look like a Noah.
No.
He's not got Noah energy.
Well, I didn't know Latinos could be called Noah.
Do you know what? Like, this is going to sound a little bit racist, and it really isn't meant
Wow.
to.
When people say that, it usually means
No, because it's mainly because of the voice, but he was giving real kind of Tybalt off of Romeo and Juliet energy with his voice.
with his voice. Yes. Everything else.
Oh no, just the voice. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, is it? God, I can't remember who played him.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, is it John Leguizamo's kid or something? Because his voice is so similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's like the breathiness of it. Anyway, sorry, we digress.
So, alright. I got out of this film and I texted Donna saying I'm reconsidering my life choices. It's not that it's bad.
Sorry, I didn't realise that Pete Davidson voiced Mirage.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
realise
yeah.
that until today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, when he's like, bro, I was inside you. Yeah, that's going to be Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
I will say, did enjoy Optimus Prime saying to Bumblebee, I want you to stop going to those drive-in theatres.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
The thing is, the opening 20 minutes, it's really setting a scene. It is 90s New York.
Yeah.
You know, the soundtrack, the kind of the attitude of the whole thing. It like that's wonderful. As soon as they land in South America, that next hour and a quarter is just complete. You gotta go and do the thing and get the blah blah blah, and then that thing happens and the do and the blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't know why. The only reason why I'm watching this is because we're doing this show, and that's cool because it's content that we're recording. I hate content. I should stop saying that. But it was just, if I was 10, this would be awesome. And it was like Noel took Charlie and Charlie loved it, and that's terrific. I don't know who else this is for.
Hashtag I'm with Charlie.
Alright, Bex, do it, dude. Alright, film of the year, yeah?
Said to Mark after we got out, I think that might be the second most fun I've had watching a film this year.
Brilliant. Alright. Great. That's great.
It's just a Saturday morning cartoon. That's what it fucking needs to be. It's a Transformers movie.
And what was the most fun you had watching a film at the cinema this year?
Dungeons and Dragons.
And why was that?
Because it's a Saturday morning. Oh, I just like Saturday morning cartoons, evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is. That's what it needs to be. And the thing is, like, I gave up on the Transformers franchise after I think the first two, and I don't think I've seen any of the others, because they take themselves fuck it, it's Michael Bay, so they don't take themselves that seriously, but they take themselves too seriously for a Transformers property. Like, trying to imbue, like, adult relationships and fucking perviness and, like, stakes and shit. Like, I love that this has no stakes. Bumblebee dies. You know he's gonna come back.
they literally tell you. Can we bring him back, maybe? Like, well, fucking hell.
Maybe, but there's not enough power. Ooh, well, maybe something will provide the power. Bit sad that Air Razor didn't get brought back to life. She was cool.
Didn't like her.
It's Michelle Yeoh.
Didn't like her.
She's a big old bird.
Didn't like her.
Love the fact that Optimus Primal's called himself that just because he thinks Optimus Prime's cool. I think that's mint. Yeah, no, absolutely loved it. I thought it had a real it had a nice kids movie heart to it.
And yeah, I mean that and that's it, isn't it? It's like I say, if I was 10, I'd love it. And I there is that massive aspect about it, and obviously like what happens at the end. Sorry, Mark, go on.
But I think also as well, there's the whole. I think we've spoken about it a few times on the podcast. Is a lot of people's problem with Super Mario Brothers movie is that like I'm going, well, it's just a kids movie. It's like, yeah, it is. You fucking. The reason why like kids don't enjoy Pixar anymore is because all of you lot destroyed it by having them stop making kids movies. They started making movies for you. It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
And
it's
I kind of liked that about it. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't as into it as you were, Bex. It's just over 2 hours long, and there's far too much Transformers fighting with other Transformers that just looks exactly the fucking same every fucking battle.
Well, that's what you're there for, isn't it?
No.
If you're playing with your Transformers action figures, are they sat around like, having discourse about the plot line of your game, or are they fucking like you're smashing them into each other because they're fighting?
I was never much of a smash when I was more about the setting up for the battle.
You fucking nerd.
But I was always like kind of into Transformers, not that much, but I was heavily into something else.
Oh my god, yeah. You were so excited. Your whole face.
So all spoilers all the time. But yeah, at the end, I don't know we're jumping right to the fucking end of a movie during the middle of a review, but fuck it. The ending, when I was like, hang on a minute. And then he turns up the card and it was G.I. Joe. I was very excited, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were, yeah. I'm also excited for that.
Yeah. I'm very much like, fucking bring it on. But go for it.
I don't know, I am a person that will sit on a day off and watch just a bunch of kids' movies. Like, it's nice sometimes to to dip back into that mindset, and I think this kind of allows you to do that.
Yeah. I am very much like, I hope every kid that goes to see this has a fucking great time.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Anthony Ramos is in that fucking awful thing, isn't he?
Nice.
Yeah. So I was predisposed not to like him, but I thought he was fucking ace in this.
He's an odd one, is Anthony Ramos. He's got a weird energy, but he is charismatic.
Yeah, I was there for it.
He does look like his puppy has always died, but he does seem like you look at him going, I bet you low key fuck though.
I was just going to say, but he looks like he can fuck.
Yeah. But if you were out with him, you'd be there going, I don't know who he's going to try and fuck in this room, because it could be all manner of genders.
I will say his chemistry with Dominique Fishback was not amazing. Like
No.
they,
But I think part of that is Dominic Fishback seemed like the most confused, smart person in a movie I've seen.
I think
I mean,
part
to
of it
be
as well,
fair-
it's hard to have chemistry with somebody who has no kind of. She's just very awkward, isn't she? She's not really got.
But she's good.
She's very good in it, yeah, but she's not. She doesn't ooze sex.
Dominic
I don't mean
Fishback is
sex appeal.
32.
Cool. I don't mean sex appeal because she's very pretty in it, and but she doesn't have that kind of energy that's like that's what she's wanting to portray.
Yeah. But I like the fact that they never go there with them.
no, it's not.
kinda do.
It's not Michael Bay looking at her at Megan Fox's arse. It just like those two at the end. She's putting his head on his. You can make some assumptions.
But they might
It'd
just
be cool to
wrong.
watch them kiss because you don't see a Latin American person kiss a black woman in cinema much, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I'm probably being a bit there about it, but I mean, it just it's for kids, and I think it's perfectly okay for kids. It's like the Super Mario Brothers movie,
Yeah.
but there's probably a little bit more to it for adults than that.
I enjoyed it easily enough. It is too long. There are too many of the same battle scenes in it. Fucking Optimus Prime has 3 fights with Scourge.
He just really fucking hates him.
That's fine, but he has 3 fights with him. It's too many.
Is Optimus Prime supposed to be like kind of a badass? 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like he always
Well-
gets his ass kicked in these movies.
But that's the thing, he always gets his ass kicked and then he kicks ass afterwards.
Well, I mean, he has an arc in this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he is just a bit like, fuck everything else, we just need to get home.
Yeah.
And he learns to not do that. And I thought that was somewhat interesting.
Yeah, it's his innate stoicism is kind of what makes him work.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I did tease on it earlier on in the podcast, but I think that annoys the shit out of me.
Yes.
We're getting a lot of period movies that are set in either the late 80s, the 90s, or even some early noughties movies now. It's that long ago that we're now starting to get those. And this is a period piece. So my thing there is, if you are doing a period piece and you are making the music of that period such a point within the movie, you cannot then have a song that happened after that period.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. What was the song?
It was one of the big battle songs after you have a fucking great opening of
Bumblebee?
Bumblebee coming out, and you go, that's fucking perfection.
Yeah.
Well fucking done. But then you have a modern hip hop song after that for the rest of the battle.
Yeah, that... Okay, I didn't know... Yeah, that's a mistake.
And it just felt a little bit like, no,
keep it consistent.
You've got so much you could have done. In fact,
Yeah.
you literally cut off a song that you could have used. There are fucking so many things you could have used. You were doing really well with the soundtrack.
Yeah, totally fair.
So yeah, filmmakers, don't do that. If you're going to set a period piece, keep the music within that period. I was even taken out of one of the scenes where Dominic Fishback started singing Waterfall, TLC, because I was there going, hang on a minute, I'm sure that song came out. It was 95, so I'll let him off with it. But I was thinking, that song, did that come out 95 or 97? Yeah, which kind of, that's how much that bothers me. Is it made me think about stuff like that. And I was wrong, which I held my hands up, but I wasn't wrong with the other one.
You overthink things.
No, I don't think I do on that one.
Just let a film wash over you.
I'm Geostorm on it.
I think I'm touching cloth because, like I say, I think it's perfectly decent for kids, and it's not that I hated it. It was just it's a bunch of things that happen. This film, yeah.
Geostorm's not a bad shout, but I don't think it falls into the so bad it's good kind of category. So I'm just gonna go with definitely not shit.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, good.
I really enjoyed it. I am off the back of that going to watch the rest of the Transformers franchise. So
I mean, there we go.
But
you are
honestly, this is the third best of them. And if you include I include Bumblebee in that, so there's 7.
well, I'm gonna have a wild ride then, aren't I?
Yes, you are. I will not be partaking in this because I've already seen them and I don't want to watch them again.
I was thinking about rewatching them, and I was like,
No.
the third and the fourth ones are like nearly 3 hours long. No,
That's what put me off. I was thinking about rewatching them and then I went, I don't have to though, and I kind of don't want to, so I'm not going to.
I do love that
Yeah.
about it though. I do love that you don't have to have watched the others.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was, more film franchises should be accessible at point of entry.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
you've not seen Transformers the movie, have you? The animated movie.
The cartoon.
yeah, you're gonna do that the weekend.
Yeah, that's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be reporting back with that. Right, questions? Cause
Can I just point out as well, the little brother's adorable and he looks like a cartoon character.
don't like the little brother.
Oh, why?
Don't like him.
Tails?
Yeah. Maybe have the G.I. Joe one where he becomes fucking like Cobra because his little brother died.
What the fuck?
Just saying. Rick Kidd, if you were a Transformer, which form would you pick as your disguise?
Right, well,
Dog.
Just a mechanical dog.
Robo Dog.
I've been informed by someone that I work with who is well versed in the Transformers movies that mythical creatures are a possibility and there's not enough goodies that fly, so I'm going to be a dragon.
A dragon.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a dragon.
Because then my
Robo-dragon.
weapon would be my fire breath,
Yeah.
but also I'd be able to fly around after the bad Decepticons because a lot of them can fly. Apparently there's not enough flight on the side of goodies, and there's a dragon in one of the other movies, so I can be a dragon.
VW Jetta.
To get hot chips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be called Optimus Rex, by the way.
Nice.
I'd just be called Jetta. Because
That works.
Becky, what the hot chicks drive?
Jazz.
Jettas.
What was I going to say?
There's other questions.
Oh, okay.
Dylan Blacklands, after recently rewatching one of my favourite films, Something Wild, which is a fucking great film, which has a very sudden change of tone when Ray Liotta arrives on the screen. What are your favourite sudden tonal shifts in a film or character entrances?
And not entrance, but dance is gonna be Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's a good shout, yeah.
Like, because that film just completely fucking turns from a Quentin Tarantino film to a Robert Rodriguez film.
Yeah. That's
Actually, is that her entrance? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's a good answer.
can't think of any. I've gone completely blank on all movies.
Yeah, tonal shift in a movie. I mean, a really obvious one is Mulholland Drive.
Oh, I'd love to watch that again at some point.
Yeah. Where it just literally goes from being one movie to being a completely different movie with no explanation.
But is that caused by anyone though?
No, but it's kind of within the tonal shift of the movie, I suppose. Yeah. Ooh, a good one that I always go back to is Filth.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you think that it's just this story about this just a prick, just an absolute prick, and then you get the fact that it then starts to come out unraveling that he is actually having like a full blown breakdown. Is good. Another one, and I'm just basically going through Broken Men here, aren't I? Demolition. Wealthy guy's wife as what is it? And he has dies, and he has like this existential crisis about like death and bits like that, and starts trashing his home and everything like that. And then literally you have a shift of where he basically just you realise, oh no, again he's going through a mental breakdown, and he has a full blown break. It's a great film, is Demolition. But yeah, that shift where it goes and you go, oh fuck, it's that. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's quite something. And yes, we're not on that time scale, but we this week. Are you movie mad? We've seen a lot of announced film delays this week. Which film from all of history do you most wish they delayed, or maybe even cancelled into the Disney or Warner Brothers style vault?
Iron Man.
just like the what could have been.
We've had some good movies out of the Marvel franchise, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, but it's also ever so slightly left to the death of cinema. So
Cinema's not dead.
I don't know, man.
It's really not.
It's not.
Bex, I was talking to Mark before you came on. A lot of what I've been up to over the next year or so is going to be talking about Cardiff City games.
Interesting.
Yeah. What movie do I wish had been cancelled? I'm going to go back to the well here. The Babadook, because I'm sick of people telling me it's fucking good. It's not. Shit.
Maybe the Terminator, because then I wouldn't be so terrified of AI.
That's fair.
What, you just let it wash over you?
Yeah,
That you just ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, exactly. We can't change it. We just gotta fucking roll with it. Elon Musk's putting stuff into people's brains now. Like this is end times. Like, but I feel like without the Terminator, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't maybe know.
So just if we didn't have Skynet, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I think that actually might be the answer.
That's the answer. Yeah. Terminator 2.
I'd be ill-informed, but I'd be happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be full of ignorance is bliss. I know this isn't a steak.
Yeah.
What we covering next week, Ian?
Do you remember that one time
Right.
when we were all eating horse meat and we didn't know and we were fine with it, and then we found out it was horse meat and everyone was angry?
Didn't shop at Tesco.
Well, true.
So next week is going to be whatever the fuck we record.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be whatever the fuck we record. I think we're going to attempt to watch The Flash, aren't we?
I thought we were watching.
We'll watch
Yeah,
the. Look. We can absolutely say we'll watch The Flash. We'll go for food after. We might be real low energy, but we'll try and record some stuff pre-Springsteen. Even if it is just chatting bollocks, it's not going to be an episode for new starters. It's not an induction episode.
No.
But there we are. I don't think we'll do any mid-week recording next week. Like with me being away for the weekend and whatnot, it's probably not advisable from my point of view. But the week after, Asteroid City, Extraction 2, no hard feelings if we all get to it.
Yeah.
So, next week, I'll be honest, I want to have a look at the schedule a little bit, because I'd very much like episode 500 to be Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And I think if we don't officially number the Springsteen one, I think that works.
It can be whatever this one is and a half.
That's a terrible idea.
I need to have a look at the schedule there, but that's what I'd like. So we'll see. Basically, whatever comes out on the feed next week will be maybe a little bit of diarrhea versus the fibre-enriched poo you usually get.
Gross.
Coming up next week.
Yep. It's you hosting him.
Yeah, it is. So, here we are. That's where, we've been on a journey.
Yep.
We entered your mouth. We're coming out as fibre-enriched poo. But next week, what the fuck? Next week, we're just going to be diarrhea. Goodbye, Mark.
Goodbye, Ian.
Goodbye, Becky.
Goodbye, Ian.
Jason Reitman. Oh, man. Go fuck yourself.
This must be episode 497. Yeah, okay, go right in.
It's a 0.5 actually.
It is a 0.5 because
Mission Impossible can be.
Mission Impossible will be 500 if this isn't a formal episode.
Do it that way, yeah.
So, Noel, you're on mic. How fuckable is RC in Rise of the Beasts?
How fuckable is your RC? Okay. Do you know what? She was the best designed character in it. I don't. I didn't mean it that way, but fine. I like the Optimus Prime design now. I like the fact he looks like the truck that he turns into. I like the fact that RC looks like RC. I'm alright with the fact that that's what Bumblebee looks like now.
You've made peace with it.
I've made peace with those things, but that's about it at this point. We were talking about it before, but like I'm a bit too close to this. I'm a bit too close to this franchise, and my childhood's a bit too tied to it. So after many years of having those dreams dashed, I've kind of given up on expecting things to go my way. The opening 10 minutes of Bumblebee, that's as good as it's going to ever get for me. So they are never going to give me the version of Transformers, a live action version of Transformers that reflects what I grew up with. So I guess it's fine, because I went with my 9-year-old son who doesn't have that attachment, and he fucking loved it. Like, he absolutely loved it. So as far as that's concerned, it's a film that's doing its job, and it's a film that's effective in doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's just what it's doing isn't good enough for me, and I realise how much of a prick that makes me sound like. But maybe the animated movie that's coming out next year will do that instead. So yeah, there you go.
That was episode 497.5 of Film Bastards.
Wait, no, it's not. I want to talk to Becky about Ted Lasso. Did you cover Ted Lasso? You did. You covered it in the last episode.
Yeah, but now we can do Becky versus Noel.
Because, so what I was going to say before was, I agree with you.
What now?
Well, this is it. I was exactly where you were. I mean, maybe not quite as vociferous as you, but like, I was exactly where you were on the Nate thing. But, and I think Mark sort of touched on it a little bit.
I'm with you on this one, yeah.
I feel like they stuck the landing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can see that she's not agreeing with me already, but like that's fine. I was very angry about Nate, but they stuck the landing in that moment where he really broke down. And also, to Mark's point, I think the point of that whole programme is that we all need to be a bit more Ted Lasso. So I can look at it that way and go, I'm fine with it and forgive it because that's what I get from Ted Lasso is, you know what? Life can be a little bit better if you just treat life a little bit better.
Yeah, Becky.
And I do agree with that, but what the telegraphing of that show does with Nate getting away with it and ending up in a better situation than he is at the beginning of the show whole arc is reward him for being an absolute cunt.
Yeah.
So be more Nate, you'll get a nice girlfriend and a promotion.
He's not suffered enough.
No.
I understand that. Yeah.
If he'd ended up back as a fucking kitman at a different club that wasn't Richmond and just really fucking sad because his girlfriend was imaginary, I'd have been alright with that.
Right, what about if you'd have ended up as the kitman at... What if you'd have ended up as the kitman at Richmond and it was like, no, I don't want this, the trajectory of up brought out the worst in me. Like, would that have been satisfactory to just go like... I recognise, as a human being, I recognise that upward trajectory took me to West Ham, took me to the top of AFC and then took me to West Ham. That brought out the worst in me and turned me into that bad person. And now I just want to be part of this and I'm sorry. And
Is everyone still nice to him and he's still got his girlfriend?
I reckon his girlfriend's up to something.
I mean...
Really?
Yeah. I too would have taken the imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah, that would have been good,
That
wouldn't
would have
it?
been fun.
Yeah, like...
Because fuck this guy.
Because that's so, like, that episode where everyone's just like, it goes to introduce her and she's just not fucking there.
100%
I was like, oh, they're doing a thing and he's had like a breakdown and she's actually imaginary. I would have loved that because that's what he deserves.
And I wonder, the nature of this season, feeling like it was sometimes written on the fly a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's maybe an idea.
they had.
At some point.
Do you know what?
The parts that were written, they knew the ending, but they didn't know.
Tons of
how to get
rewriting,
there.
really, really difficult season to make.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the season, but it did feel patchy. And
It
there was
did.
some real whiplash.
You never watched Ted Lasso?
No.
No.
Do you know what? I'm really
yeah.
glad that you guys have made your peace with it and with the Nate of the situation. I haven't. If that makes me a worse person than you are, I am fine with that. But I hate him and want him to die.
So you agree that you're a worse person than the rest of us as well?
on this particular issue, yeah.
Good luck
Does
with the
that
rest of
include
it.
me that's now watched the second of it?
You're all right. Yeah. You get to
You're
not have
actually
to.
digging a hole there, Becky.
I am angrily digging a hole with a stick. Yeah. He just doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve the
No,
forgiveness.
I agree. But the one thing that is the get out for me is
He apologises.
No. It was I think first of all you've got to recognise that the reason you feel the way about that character is because that actor delivered that performance.
Oh yeah.
He made you hate him that much, and for me, the apology.
Is this doing anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It just looked like a really straight line that isn't doing anything. Oh, there we go. It's working up now.
It's that Mancunian monotone.
Yeah, no, and he does. He nails
delivered
the
that
performance.
And then that moment where he apologises and really breaks down, I felt it like it was like
That's what I was
he
like.
broke
Yeah.
a bit, and that was enough for me to go, all right, he's broke. The lesson here is be more Ted, and I can kind of live with that. So it's not perfect, but it's
It makes sense within the show, I think.
yeah, I think.
But it means that if they do AFC Richmond, he's going to be fucking in it.
that's
And I don't want that. I hate him as a character. I don't
That's-
ever want to see his stupid face again.
He should have made his peace and buggered off.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that.
and I could live with it if he came back to it because they seem to sort of like for a minute go, oh yeah, he's the kit man now.
Yeah.
And
But then he was on the
dugout,
yeah,
the
it was
sides very
weird.
quick, and I'm like, whoa, if they'd have finished the season and the series like going, Nate came back, he's kit man, doesn't want to go any further, realises his place, he's sorry, that's the end of it. But now AFC Richmond, as we think it's going to be called, it's going to be him on the touchline supporting Roy and Beard.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm not
Do you know what made me incandescent with rage?
Yeah.
Him being back in the Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
Really, really fucking made me angry, that.
What?
Being back in the Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
Fucking. Ugh.
No, okay.
Oh, I hate him. No, I can't make my peace with it.
It's just a reflex reaction, that was.
It is real.
Yeah, so there we go. I'm not quite, if I saw the actor in the street, I'd throw shit at him, angry, but like...
There were some mixed feelings in '86 with Optimus Prime.
Ah, dear. That cheetah was pretty sexy in Rise of the Beasts.
I've got a question.
Go on.
Did we, apart from the gorilla,
Yeah.
Optimus Prime,
Yeah.
No notes. Well done, 5 stars.
I've never made my peace with Beast Wars, to be honest with you. So yeah, fine.
So I'm trying to put mine in the middle.
Apart from the gorilla
Air Razor.
and Air Razor, did we ever? In fact, I know we didn't see Air Razor transform. Did we see Cheetor transform?
Yeah. Yeah,
Did we?
when he goes like...
That big old
Maximal
Maximize.
something or in the battle.
Oh, but Air Razor's already dead.
Yeah.
Spoilers all the time.
Maximise.
Sorry.
Michelle Yeoh's already
Maximal.
said, pay me my money, please.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm Poochie going off to my home planet. I can't believe... Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? Anyway.
Look, all I'm saying is
They went to the beach that makes you get old.
maybe this is the
tree.
part. Maybe this is the part that makes you get old.
It's the BFI remake.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is,
It's the Ken Loach version.
in 1984, Hasbro bought a couple of toy lines and they didn't know what the fuck to do with them, and they took them to Marvel, and the editor-in-chief of Marvel and Jim Shooter and Bob Budiansky got together and created fantastic characters for every single one of those toys that ended up in comics, that then got developed in comics, that ended up on the back of the box. So every kid knew, and ended up in the animated series. Every kid knew what Ironhide's personality was like, and what Optimus Prime's personality was like, and what Starscream's personality was like. They went to so much trouble to create these characters that if it wasn't for that work, there would never have been a Transformers movie, whatever it was, 20 years later.
Well, Hasbro did the same thing with, they basically used that template when they made G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
because on the back of
personalities.
G.I. Joe,
Yeah.
you basically had a biography card.
Yeah.
So at the back of the box,
Same on the Transformers.
yeah, you had to keep because it had like a little biography of them, and then it had like a little cutout bit that you could cut out that was like a playing card kind of thing, and that was the bit that was behind the. So if you bought Cobra Commander, there's a picture of Cobra Commander behind Cobra Commander in the box, and then when you cut that out, that was like your little card that had all the information about it.
And the Transformers ones were quite specific as well. They were like, Ironhide comes from this part of Cybertron and he loves this and he loves that, but he hates Decepticons and he's always into this and he likes weapons and blah blah blah. So they had specifics that gave them a place to jump off from. And the size of Transformers lore since then is absolutely massive. There's been multiple strands in comics in particular, and various animated series that have taken it off in different directions, but it all starts there. And my problem with the Transformers film so far is that they started from a completely different place.
Yeah.
They just started from scratch and they ignored all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now that's what Transformers is. So Optimus Prime is this rageful, vengeance-fueled maniac that says shit like, I'm going to rip off your face. And that's just what we accept that Optimus Prime is now. And it's like, no, Optimus Prime should... Like, at the moment in Rise of the Beasts where he finds out that Mirage has brought a human back, I felt like he was going to kill him. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
He was gonna.
He looked like he was.
So is he not an angry man?
He's
No.
he's the most
He's stoicism.
stoic leader, smart decisions, pragmatism,
Is he still heavy keen
Sexy.
to just go home all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to go home. He loves Cybertron. They all do, but he's looking out for even the whole decision that they make about sending this human into to solve their problem.
Yeah.
Prime sort of just goes, oh well, it's a stupid idea, but fucking get on with it. And then like at one point goes, well, I told you it was a stupid idea. He would have inserted himself into that and gone, no, this is not what we do. We don't involve the humans in our war. But like, it's just.
It was
Again,
a
I
weird
sound like a
line
whingy
as well,
bitch, but
when
like
he
it's
said
just
it's a
there's
stupid
core-
idea,
Yeah.
but fuck it, get on with it.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
was kind of surprised he said that.
Yeah.
Good F-bomb.
Yeah.
And also, two worst things about the film. That lead actress was fucking. I don't know who she is or what she's been in before.
Dominique Fishback.
She
Fishback.
was.
Who I swear
Dreadful.
she was like in her teens like last year and is now in her early 30s.
What's she been in? What would
She was in that.
Project Power.
Project Power, yeah. And she put a teenager in it.
She was dreadful.
That's right. She
Yeah.
did.
And I genuinely thought she was a teenager. Then when I looked up, she's like in her 30s.
My other least favourite thing was the bit where I can't remember who explained it. Somebody explained it at the
Michael
end
Douglas.
where Scourge has built that thing, and then they've got to get to the thing because it's always got to be about getting a thing.
Go
to
get
a
the thing, gets the thing, and we'll do the other
They
thing.
go, well, the only way we're going to get to the thing is if we go there, but we can't go there. But there's a because we're too big to go in, but there's a tunnel underneath it.
Yeah.
Why is there a tunnel underneath it?
Maintenance.
Yeah. Maintenance hat.
Maintenance for who?
The
Maintenance guy.
For the little
Spider-
human guys
spider
that they
bots.
send in.
Spider
Oh,
robots.
fuck off, spider bots. No.
There
Why
was-
did they build that thing?
there were spider
Maintenance.
robots
He just
earlier
built
on.
it. We just saw him build
But things have to be maintained.
There we
it
are.
by spider bots.
If he's got to change like a light bulb or something.
Don't remember any spider bots.
That when they were in that museum and the thing blew up and then
Yeah.
like there
Oh,
were
those
like
things that
bots-
look like they were from the Michael Bay films.
yeah.
They do actually.
They were like little like scuttle droids from Red Dwarf, but spiders, and they just go around the maintenance tunnels. The thing is, you know I'm right. You just can't bring yourself to agree with me.
You don't care.
I don't know, man. I don't like that film.
Maintenance there's maintenance tunnels.
Spider bots. I know. Yeah.
Oh, this is your version of me with Last Jedi.
yeah.
In a universe,
know-
where,
do you know about that,
in a universe where trade wars are a key plot point, it's perfectly acceptable to put somebody on hold.
Right, Last Jedi. At the start of the Last Jedi, where they do that thing where Oscar Isaac's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to put you on hold."
Yeah.
Right? No,
Ian doesn't think
I
it's
have
feasible
heard.
to be
it's a
put
Star
on
War.
hold in the
It's a
Star
Star
Wars
War.
universe.
You don't put people on hold in a Star War. I'm sorry.
They made 3 films about trade disputes.
Also, as well, I guarantee you, a world where they've invented that much space travel, somebody at some point
I'm
invented
so-
hold.
There's a lot of there's a lot of like space travel comms and stuff. There's a
I'm so-
whole empire.
I'm
The
so-
empire is
I'm
capitalism.
sorry. I'm sorry, but if you can put somebody on hold in a Star Wars film, you can have maintenance tunnels in a Transformers film.
That's the
Well, I think
trade-off.
we've reached our agreement then. There we go. All right, that's the end of those disagreements.
Wait a minute, so are you, but which are you agreeing to? That both of them are feasible, or that neither of them are
That
feasible?
if
No, I think we need to agree that
You're at
both of them are feasible and neither of them
you're
are
at a
feasible.
double
yeah, no, I think that's it. And now that we've agreed that, now legally,
Can we be friends again?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Star Wars and Transformers can have a crossover now. Like that was the one thing that was getting in the way.
I do want the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. Sorry.
Yeah, the G.I. Joes can run through that little tunnel.
There you go. Yeah. At the end of Rise of the Beasts, they basically go, right, G.I. Joe's going to be in the next one.
And I was well excited.
No,
Hey,
but
can I
they've
ask
done
a random off-topic question?
Well,
Which actress was it whose name made your brain explode not so long back?
The one with the thing, the
Journey Smollett. Yeah.
Journey Smollett.
Journey Smollett. That's not a name.
Wasn't there another one more recently as well? There was another actor that
Her brother, what's his name? Jeremy Smollett, or whatever his name is. What's his name?
Isn't he the
Jussie.
one who, like-
Jesse.
Yeah,
He's the one who
like,
faked
like
the
assaulted someone in
faked
the
the
street.
assault or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Oh, that dickhead.
Yeah. And his name's like Jussie Smollett, and she's Journey Smollett. But they say Smollett because it sounds cooler. It's not that, it's Smollett. Your name's Journey Smollett. Well done, parents.
Big fans of keeping up with appearances.
Yeah, exactly. It's the
It's
highest.
actually pronounced Smollett.
Yeah. Journey Smollett.
Just insulting you over there.
Like Janelle Monáe, but just not quite as
Like
polished.
Ed,
Have
like,
you
like
seen-
Ed
if we-
Schneebly.
right, if we-
Actually, it's pronounced Schneebly.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you seen the Janelle Monáe's released a new album?
Yes.
Have you seen the vinyl for it?
Yes.
Have you seen what the gatefold is?
Yes.
So you open up the
That's pretty
gatefold
funny,
vinyl.
actually, isn't it?
Do you know what it is?
I mean, I don't want to
It's
guess.
a boobs,
'cause
yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's her boobs.
She did she put like a video on Instagram. She's like walking down a record store and just gets it and just puts them out
Well,
in front of
fucking
her. It's
fair
great.
play,
It's fair play to her.
She's very proud of her boobs.
Do you know what? I've never really
fair.
completely off tangent. I know, but like I've never really known what she is or what her music is or whatever.
Multi-dimensional
Really
being.
boring.
That's fine.
That's probably
But, like,
what she calls herself. though,
I've
in
never
all
I've
fairness.
never heard anything of hers until very recently, and I was like, she's got a song called Float,
Yeah.
and then there was another one that was fairly recently as well. And
Floater.
I quite like this. This is all right, man. She's
She's
good.
very good.
Yeah.
I like the music.
You like it? I can't get on with it.
No.
No, can't get on with it. It just. She had a
She's
song.
a bit like, what if Beyonce was good?
Yeah.
She comes out with some crap. That's the
She-
problem with Janelle Monáe.
Yeah,
But
in an interview, she is basically, please think I'm deep, but I'm
Alright,
not. I'm not at all. And it's quite funny.
But it's good music though.
She seems
That's,
to be
to
kind
be
of like.
fair though, that's why my first album never really hit.
Is it not?
Apart from with you loved it.
I love
The
it.
Noel Mellor Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did we decide your next one's called?
Mine.
Yeah, your mariachi album.
My mariachi album.
Is this the long-awaited
Burrito.
follow?
Intrigued by burrito.
Intrigued by burritos.
By burrito, singular.
Burritos, yeah.
Yeah. Singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural.
Singular's cleaner.
Yeah, I think so.
Intrigued by
I think so.
burrito.
Take the
Yeah.
S off.
Yeah.
Becky messaged me the other day saying, what do you fancy dinner? I was like, don't know. She said, I've got an idea. How about something to do with burritos? I was like, I'm intrigued by burritos. She's like, that's a great name.
Is this the long-awaited follow-up to Arousal Cafe?
Arousal Cafe, man, that's going to happen at some point. I wrote 2 genuine songs for Arousal Cafe.
We need to, like, if we ever do form a band, then that's our first thing.
If those people can hear us, they're having the weirdest dreams at the moment. Are they dead?
They're dead.
Janelle Monáe's tits were fucking the
They
Decepticons.
yeah, there you go. They're having the deepest sleep though.
They come and see Springsteen, they're going to wake up at 9:15 tonight.
Yeah. Wow.
just as because the night comes on.
Fucking hell, Margaret, not again.
Apparently, the curfew here isn't 10. We've been allowed an 11 o'clock curfew here.
So that's an additional
So
hour.
Is that an additional hour or later start then?
no, it's still starting at 7.
Nice.
Apparently, he's current stage for 7. And then
we head straight to that Tesco before
we've
it
got
goes
a
to
And then it
midnight.
finishes at 10 o'clock and
Sorry.
ASAP Rocky comes.
A little bit obsessed.
it finished at 10, and when Hot Chili Peppers come on, play 10 minutes, fuck off, and then ASAP Rocky
Sorry
comes
guys,
on.
we're going to do Can't Stop and then we've got to stop. ASAP Rocky's coming on.
Does anybody know what time checkout is tomorrow?
12:30.
12:30?
I
Oh wow, we were.
But I think it's later than you expect.
Is it?
I mean,
I'll
if we're off
take
to the
12.
cinema for like 11, we'll be out before then anyway.
I feel like we don't need to record anymore. Bane.
Are you recording on that?
Yeah. Oh, you got the thing.
Yeah, bring that. Like, it's up to you.
Ah, nah, it's all right. Just do it on here. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So, Mark, you entered the Speed Force.
Yep.
It sounded like you didn't find it particularly speedy.
I will go straight out of the bat and give my end rating now. And then I'll go into like what I thought.
You're reversing the time.
I
right?
reversed the timeline. I thought it was a Geostorm.
Okay.
It's way too long. Both versions of Barry managed to be entertaining and irritating in equal levels. But the problem is,
I'm so glad you thought they were equal levels.
is the film thinks that the irritating is charming, and it's kind of not at points. It's kind of nails on a chalkboard. The absolute we need to sort of like weave bits in that people might remember was verging on like teeth itching me bad. if you're going to fit in the line, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. At least make it make sense when you're going to fit it in.
I said that.
It's like, wow. But at times it was fun, at times it was entertaining, and when it was trying to be fun, it was fun. But the problem is, it's so fucking long. And you've already got a fleshed out Batman, because we know the Batman. But the Super Girl, yeah, we're going for that. Just nothing, just a blank slate.
Super nanny. She was supposed to look after him.
She was supposed to look after him and she didn't, and she just got real angry, which I kind of thought was alright that she got real angry. I like that they made her real angry, but she had nothing at all other than looking like a computer character for the entire thing. She might not have even been a real person.
No.
You guys ready to order?
Yeah.
Can I get food?
I'm ready to order, yeah.
Sorry, that's mine.
I was thinking of a left on the table.
Yeah, can I get the boneless tenders?
Yeah, what dip would you like?
The jerk gravy, please.
Yeah.
And can I get 3-piece buffalo wings?
Yeah, what dip with those?
Jerk gravy again.
Yeah.
And can I just get some sweet potato fries?
Yeah.
From the north.
Can I get mac and cheese, please?
Yeah.
With a side of jerk cheese fries.
Jerk cheese fries. Yeah.
And can I get a Coke with that as well?
Coke. Yeah.
Can I get the mild half chicken
Yeah.
with fries?
Yeah.
And can I also get a Coke and a Red Bull, please?
Coke or what?
And a Red Bull.
The Red Bull.
Yes, please.
Sorry, can I add a Coke as well, please?
Coke. Yeah, that's fine.
Can I get the tenders with the gravy?
Yeah.
A mac and cheese?
Yeah.
And a cream soda, please.
Cream soda. Yeah.
Can I get the tenders with the spicy mango, some jerk sweet potato fries,
Yeah.
and a Coke, please?
Yeah, is that everything?
Yes,
Think so? Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Some extra tenders for the table.
It's a pot really.
I'm going to keep that in.
I keep it.
Everybody needs to know what we have.
No. Where did Supergirl's suit come from?
It was just on the side. Just on the side where she left it.
It's just, I had loads of little just questions like that through the course of the film. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, the Barrys just rocking up at the Batcave, just noodling about in the Batcave. I don't know, there's just something about that. It was like, that's not Ben Affleck's Batcave.
Also, does Batman not password protect his computer? You think he probably would.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree on the length of it. I didn't feel the length of it because so much was happening that it really. I don't think it felt long. Like, how long was it?
2.5.
It was about, just under 2.5.
Myself. But having said that, the first half hour maybe before they get to like Bruce Wayne, I was just irritated. The whole I was just annoyed with it. Like,
Even with the action sequence with the babies and the dog, I thought that was great. I really enjoyed that.
I didn't know if I liked it or if I was just baffled by it. Like, I think I said to you at one point, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like,
When the dog showed up, you were like, what the
I don't
fuck?
know, this is mental. But I just, you know, his personality aside, I don't like Ezra Miller as a screen presence. He irritates me. He gets right under my skin.
To that. Like, his real life person.
Yeah.
Really fucking irritates me,
Yeah.
but I love watching him on screen.
Oh, really?
You were saying that in the car, weren't you, Paul?
I find him so charismatic as a screen.
I agree with that. I think that the shame about Ezra Miller is that that they are Ezra Miller. If they weren't Ezra Miller, they would probably be right now where Timothy Chalamet is.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not. They are Ezra Miller.
No, I think-
and so they can't be where Timothy Chalamet is because he looks at it and goes, "Do you know what? I might not do drugs in this room."
Yeah. Ezra Miller in a Timothy Chalamet role, I probably quite like. It's that version of Ezra Miller, that sort of wacky, twitchy.
because he's fantastic in Perks of a Wallflower.
It's good if there's something about No, we need to talk about Kevin.
I
as well.
did like that
So you
film.
don't like the
Yeah, he
film,
is
but he's
good.
good in
I like
it.
that.
I hated that film.
But he's good in it.
No comment.
Well, no, I mean, I suppose it kept me entertained, but I didn't really like it. I don't think, and I just, like I said to you afterwards, it's just showing me things, and I'm just, I feel, I don't feel anything when I see.
Coke,
Oh, nice one. Thank you.
Red Bull,
Thank you very much.
cream soda. Thank you.
Like when I see Christopher Reeves, well, spoilers all the time, I assume.
Yeah.
When I see Christopher Reeves Superman show up, and I see Nick Cage show up as Superman, it's just stuff. Like
So
it's just, it doesn't.
That never happened.
No, it didn't. So,
No, it's
so rather,
supposed to, but-
rather than having like Brandon Routh or any of the people who've played Superman, they thought, well, let's just use a photo of Nick Cage when he was maybe going. Thank you. When he was maybe going to be Superman.
I mean,
was a
I
screen
enjoyed
test as
it
well, so
because all
yeah.
movies could do with probably about 300% more Nicolas Cage. For me.
I will guarantee you, Nick Cage has that on his IMDb.
But what did that? What did the Nick Cage thing do? Like what did showing me Batman, Adam West Batman do? What was it doing?
It
Nothing was
made
happening.
people
It was
our age
showing me
recognise
Yeah, yeah.
things.
It's
Yeah,
very,
and I don't-
I mean, it's very in-jokey because he's fighting a mechanical spider,
Spider,
which is
yeah,
what
yeah,
John
yeah.
Peters
Yeah.
wanted that Superman film to be, him versus a giant spider. So
And that's great, and I got that in the moment, and I registered that. But so what?
it's the DiCaprio meme.
It's just showing me things.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of the film is the DiCaprio meme. Like, because I mean,
Even down to the Eric Stoltz being
they
Marty
really
McFly.
played that on that way too much.
Yeah, which was a little bit like.
Once would have been enough.
Remember when he was going to be Marty McFly? Remember that? It's like, okay, yeah, we get it.
But he wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I can't drink this through the straw. It keeps making it fizz. And then like pour over.
Paper straws are like the scourge. Like, I get it, let's reduce plastic use, but you've got to do better than paper.
I love a paper straw. I must be the only person on the planet that loves a paper straw.
Because it's a shout, for sure.
Possibly, yeah.
You ever tried drinking a McDonald's milkshake through a paper straw?
See, I can't
not
drink.
You hold
Possibility
flashes
not.
before your eyes.
I can't drink milkshakes because of my incredible lactose. So
You still do.
I don't drink milkshakes. No, I can't. Otherwise, I
No, but
would.
not McDonald's.
I haven't milkshake had a milkshake in forever.
The thing is, though, right, the George Clooney at the end. Like,
I did enjoy that though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's the thing, because it was just his history with the character, with the part, has been so. He's ashamed of it. He's embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
But it is quite fun that he rocks up and does that.
Yeah, but I can imagine though that Warner were going, George, we know you don't do a lot now, but will you do this? And I'm like, no, man. How about an espresso machine? It's like, no, and 2 Nespresso machines. Like, 2 Nespresso machines and an
month's worth of pods.
espresso
yearly pack, and you get me for half an hour.
But I mean, like, so what does that mean though? Because there's no way Clooney is going to be Bruce Wayne in future films. So is this just this timeline just done?
Yeah, I think it was just. Yeah. Let's make it a little bit funny at the end. Why not?
And,
They've scrapped them all, haven't
let's
they?
just
They're
kind of
starting
have
from
it as a
scratch, aren't they?
one-off,
Yeah.
and then we'll start over.
Like,
But Aquaman's still got to come out at some point.
I think that's it, and I think they know
Yeah.
that. I think the James Gunn thing is going to reset everything.
Yeah.
He's going to do Superman again. He's already writing Superman as it stands.
I'm so fucking
I
bored
think
of
we're
Superman.
done with. They're not going to want
Cast everyone
Ezra
as
Miller back.
Superman, you coward.
I think if they were continuing with this, George Clooney wouldn't have shown up at the end. I think it's probably a bit where they've gone afterwards. Okay, well, if it's all finished and let's do this, it'd be funny.
Yeah, I think that's it. Can I just say as well, I just want to go on the record and say I'm going to lose my mind if Gal Gadot smirks at me again, and it's driving me mental. She keeps showing up in films and grinning.
What I'm
Hi
enjoying,
guys, I'm here.
Yeah.
what I'm enjoying like the whole Gal Gadot thing is every time she shows up now in anything, everyone kind of goes, God, and it just proves more that she is terrible.
But it is that
She was in
smirk.
recently on
Bastard.
at the end.
She does Shazam. She
Shazam,
does.
yeah.
She rocks up at the end of Shazam, does the smirk. Rocks up at the end of Fast X, does the smirk. It is so weird. She's
So
only got
like
that one trick.
self-congratulatory. Self-congratulatory. Well, it just
You do get the feeling that woman has no problem with her ego. Apart from being too big.
So, Paul, how do you find The Flash?
I was in Mark's camp a little bit. I did feel the length of it. I enjoyed like the worlds colliding bits. I got engaged with that because it was showing me that the nostalgia of Keaton being Batman was cool for a little bit, and then it just got get to the fucking point of it. I hated everything about the first 30 minutes. It drove me fucking nuts, and I hate that character so much anyway. I like Ezra Miller, really do. I remember seeing him in Californication years and years and years ago, and he was great in that, and I liked him since. Obviously, problems aside.
His real lifeness.
There was bits I enjoyed, but that didn't make the film. I'd skip it if I knew the timeline now, but it was all right. And the CGI is fucking horrendous.
There was some really
it's like
so bad.
It's taken them so long to make this film as well. You think they would know what to do.
Take another year and get it that right. Jesus.
The bit where he opens the microwave and takes the baby out before it's a real baby, it made my brain vomit.
Terrifying.
I hated it. What the fuck? And the dog and the Gal Gadot and all
The Gal Gadot might be real.
Why did the microwave
shoulders
ding?
like-
Sorry, that was a question. Why did the microwave ding? Sorry, Bex, go on.
Because I think it was
One of the old
mechanical,
ones.
one of the old school ones.
Yeah.
So if you just bring it around,
Yeah, I
it'll
know,
ding.
but in order for it to
It's not like
It has to be on.
it won't plug in.
No. It's
They have a
just
mechanism
it's an egg timer.
inside.
They're an egg time runner rather than a mechanical timer.
So when he put the baby in the microwave, did he turn the dial? He must have turned the dial. Why would you do that?
Because
I think this
it's
is when you have to turn it to lock the door.
That's the better question. I mean, like, Ezra Miller probably has tried to microwave a baby in real life.
Yeah.
Like, it was probably his idea.
Yeah, he probably turned out the production stuff and went, "This isn't plugged in."
But no, you're right.
It opened it and went, "Wait a minute, Andrew, this isn't a real baby. We discussed a real baby."
For a film that's obviously cost quite a lot of money to make the effects better, because some of them are wrong as fuck, and then some of them are really good and you don't notice them.
Anything in that world, like the Speed Force world colliding stuff, like, I didn't get, was that actually supposed to look real? Like,
No,
I think
it was supposed to look almost real, but not quite there.
Yeah, I just think it was supposed to look stylized.
I mean, to me, if
that
you're
bit.
gonna bring George Clooney in, bring fucking Nick Cage in for a day.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Oh
shit?
my god, if it had been Nick Cage that had got out of that car at the end, I would have lost my fucking mind.
Listen, you can get George Clooney. You can get George Clooney for it. You can definitely get Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I might get a Sandy if Nick Cage is Superman. I love that.
I'd probably buy him on Amazon, to be fair.
No, I think, I really fucking enjoyed it. Like, I had a really nice time with it. It was great. I liked the Barry Allen character anyway. I thought Ezra Miller did a really good job of making them so different.
Yeah.
Like, they felt like different characters because the nature versus nurture of it, he had a different nurture. And then when he turned into fucking baddie at the end, that was ace. Because he'd just been going round and round and round, and then he was the purple guy. No, I really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, and I'm sorry.
I will say, I liked how self-contained it was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the fact that they introduced the Supergirl and killed her off in the same bloody film.
I like the fact that though that she wasn't just an alternate timeline Superman. There was a reasoning for her.
Yeah.
Kal-El existed as well. She's not just that, but there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that Michael Shannon got to kill a baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah, the
think
infant
he probably
didn't
enjoyed that
survive.
as well.
Yeah.
Again, probably nothing he hasn't tried in his personal life.
I think I do hope now though that after Spider-Man, after Doctor Strange, after Quantumania, after this, I hope we're done now with massive multiverse and just showing me things from other things.
Yeah.
This seems to be having a little bit of a dig at that, I thought.
adventure. Like, let's just have some characters having a little adventure. Like, you know, not unlike the first two Ant-Man movies, where it's just like
a caper or something with superhero.
I think they've bitten off more than they can chew with the whole multiverse thing. Especially Marvel, it feels like they've introduced it and then gone, fuck.
I don't know where else you can go at this point.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit like the most well-received and most successful comic book movie of the past couple of years has been the one that didn't have a multiverse in Guardians. Like when you marry up how well it was received by how much it made.
And that's exactly that's what Guardians is. It's a caper, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fun
alternate
adventure.
timeline shit going on in there with Gamora.
Yeah,
but it's just kept much more simple.
But it's not a multiverse version of it.
Yeah.
It makes sense within it.
And actually, James Gunn has said that with that, he didn't want that. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
He said they kind of gave him a problem with the alternate Gamora, and he's had to sort of like work around that.
Which is why
it's a good sign, because
why
maybe it means that DC is not going to be multiverse.
Yeah, he all but wrote her character down so much. Apparently, originally the whole story was going to be more her and Quill. And then it was like, oh no, I've got this problem, so I'm just not going to. I'm not going to kind of deal with it. To be honest, I can't be bothered with it. Which was fun, but.
I've got one of those jerk gravy
people at the table.
No tenders for jerk gravy. Thank you. A half jerk chicken.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Wow. Wow, we. Thank you.
That is half a jerk chicken.
Still reckon you could have bitten it over? Shit.
I reckon once you take the bones out of that, there's not that much meat.
Oh, man. Oh, we. Alright. Is that it on the flush?
Same, probably there, yeah. I'm Geostorm.
I'm definitely not shit.
No, definitely not shit.
I'm touching cloth.
Huh?
Touching cloth.
I'm with him. Touching glove.
Touch that cloth. Bye!